This episode of Muddy River Gems is brought to you by Dot Foods.
I think what it comes down to is the culture and the people.
Our culture here at Dot is like no other. I've never experienced anything like what I've lived with for the last 12 years.
Dot is very diverse.
It is truly a family-owned business, but it is a family inside and out.
You always feel like you matter and you play a big hand in the pot.
There's so many opportunities to make a difference at Dot and really contribute to the success of the organization.
71 years ago, this ag company started when a brother and sister were spreading anhydrous ammonia as a one-truck operation. On this edition of Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods, get to know 101-year-old founder, Evelyn Brandt Thomas. Evelyn, at 101 years old, you helped to found the Brandt Company, which now has a global impact. And you still come to work to the office most days. And you're the face of the Brandt Company.
Correct.
And I'm wondering how it's a very significant thing to be 101, but to also be working and helping out on an operation like this is phenomenal.
Well, it's my therapy. It gets me up early in the morning. I come to work, and I'm working with all these young people. I mean, if you work with all these young people, it keeps you young because I'm doing things with this next, the second or third generation below me. But it's just, it gives me more energy and then I feel good about knowing what's going on out there. Yeah, I'm so proud about everything that we've done, and I want to keep up with it. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what the employees are doing. I want to know what their families are doing. I want to know what's new in the company. What is our what new products are coming up the line. And I've just seen too many people retire, sit at home, and guess what?
Yeah.
5 years they're gone because they've got nothing to live for.
Yeah, I know, that's a shame.
I've got a lot to live
Absolutely
for
you
because
do.
this thing is this is like a child I've raised, from inception. I mean, it's 70 years old now.
Well, okay,
that's the whole thing.
Last year you celebrated the 70th anniversary of the company,
right.
Which you founded with your brother Glen.
Correct.
In 1953.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you started, you and Glen probably rented a truck to deliver anhydrous ammonia, and you went from that operation to this, where you have headquarters all over the United States and Brazil and Spain
and the world,
and you serve the world.
Glen used Dad's equipment, used his tractor. That very first year when he spread out anhydrous ammonia, that was the very first one. It was Claude Weir, a gentleman from Jacksonville who was handling anhydrous ammonia, called Glen to come apply some anhydrous ammonia for him. And so that's really when we got our appetite whetted. We got thinking about, there's more out there. There was a company in Sullivan, Illinois, that was making fertilizer, and that's where we bought our first fertilizer. Our first year we spread 127 ton.
Wow.
127 ton, and man, that was a record breaker.
Well, that would have been, and there weren't many people doing that. You and Glen knew the importance of nitrogen and what it would do for crops, but you didn't know near as much as your people know now, did you? I mean, you were pretty much learning on the go.
We were the pioneers in the industry in Central Illinois. Right. But we had a gentleman from New Berlin that he decided he let Glen apply some fertilizer on his land, about 20 acres. So while Glen was spraying it. He stood there at the end of the road with his arms crossed, and he says, "Looks like water to me." Well, at the end of the year, the harvest, he found out that there was a little something more than water in that, and that was really the thing that set things going, because he was a well-known farmer, very well respected, and if he liked it, everybody else wanted to like it. And today we are serving the fifth generation of that family.
Wow.
So,
and your own family is multi-generational in this company, because your nephew Rick is the CEO, right?
Right.
And now his daughter is also involved in the company.
And then the other owner of the company is Rick's sister, Terry. So they're
okay. So you've got new generations coming on. You don't have to worry about the company; it's in good hands, right?
Right.
But I want to go back a little bit back to when you and Glen were founding the company. You had so you had this this awakening where you figure out, okay, this is working. We can grow this way. At what point did you see the company turn from what looked like a two-person operation into what was really going to be a successful operation? Was there a point where you just saw the turn coming?
Well, there was a place where it was the opposite. I mean, we had our ups and downs, as you might guess. I mean, because like what was it? 83, the interest was like 20-some%.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then in 83 was a pick year for farmers, and I had lots of problems. Let me tell you. I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I had there was a period of time I had to take a little bit of nerve medicine.
Yeah, is that right? Well, you were keeping the books. They weren't always that great, huh?
Well, Mark, in fact, I could show you how many notes that I signed, and guess whose name is on that note? Evelyn Thomas. Evelyn Thomas. And if the farmer couldn't pay us, who are they going to come after? They're going to come after my skin. But back in those days, I mean, whenever I needed money, I'd go to either the Complaints Bank or the Warren Boynton Bank, and then we got too big; they couldn't handle us, and then we went to the Illinois National Bank. Was the next bank that we dealt with. But guess who went to the bank, and guess who put their name on the line?
Yeah.
Although we finally we got in a couple of stockholders, so then everybody had to guarantee their share then. So that helps some. So
but before you got big,
right,
you and Glen operated around Pleasant Plains,
right,
Farmingdale,
New Berlin.
New
We
Berlin.
started out Pleasant Plains. Then we went to New Berlin. Then we went to Ashland. Then we went to Waverly. Then we went to Auburn. And then we went to Kern, and then to Auburn, and then to Greenview, and then I've memorized all that. But it goes up to like 21 or something now.
So at this point, you must be hiring people, because you can't be doing that all yourself, right?
I started out working one night a week. Then I worked 2 nights a week. Gordon was teaching a veterans ag class out at the high school in Pleasant Plains, so I would ride with him, because the office was in the folks' house. That's where it worked. So while he was teaching, I did the works, and then I hired another lady to help me some, and so eventually it was probably 2 or 3 years before we had. Well, it would have been 58. The folks built a house in Pleasant Plains, and so then I had an office in their basement. So then I hired somebody to help me.
And then it just continued to snowball, and you got better and better and better. At one point, you were operating out of a gas station, or you built a gas station, right?
I worked out of a size of a bathroom with a handheld adding machine. There's my set of books.
Those are your journals, huh? Those are your journals.
I can show him so-and-so spread about 20 acres at Borgeth, or maybe 30 acres. And I tell you, we've made a lot of good friends. We stressed being kind to people and not ever cheating anybody. I mean, always giving them their money's worth, and we've never had any problems. I mean, I just our reputation. I felt that we really did a good job.
We're going to learn a lot more about the company later on the program. I want to focus on you personally a little bit here. You were proud of this. Your 101st birthday bash was held at the new building.
Right.
You built a new. I'm not sure what this building is called. Is it a scientific headquarters or a
Evelyn Brandt Thomas Ag Innovation Center?
Ag Innovation Center. Okay, and this was your 600 people came to your party.
We had ribbon cutting first.
And on the personal note, I couldn't draw 600 people, so you must be very popular. But the other side of that is, Evelyn, you have not only hired people in this community and treated them well and fairly, you also have given a lot to the community. And some people who don't know you as a businesswoman do know you as a philanthropist because you have been very good to the community. And not only does you have a foundation with the Brandt Company, of course, but you yourself personally give. And I'm wondering why you felt it was important to be generous to the community of Springfield and the surrounding areas.
Well, I believe in giving back because without their business in the early days, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today. And I also want to help out people so they can do things, improve what they're doing. And a lot of them are for health, and some of it is for education. So we want, like our young kids, to be able to get an education and make a better life for themselves. But I just felt, I mean, you know, people helped Glen and I when we got started, and I'm not going to forget that, because that's without all the help from, you know, because we bought things and didn't have to pay for them for a period of time because they trusted in us, and so we've just felt that it was just important that give back, and I want to give back, and I want to see the effects of what I give back. I don't want it done when I'm dead and gone. I want to see it now, and I want to see the effect of it, and I want to see these kids get education, you know, and I don't want them just. In fact, I don't think I want to get involved in endowments anymore. When I give a donation, I want to use it and go out there and spend it and make a difference. So
Gotcha.
So,
well, listen, thank you. Now, I tell you what we would like to do.
Okay.
We would like to see more of this building, because in here you have your brother's old office, Glen's office, and he passed away unfortunately, but his office is still here. Your company still runs race cars and sponsors race car drivers,
correct.
and we want to see some of that. And,
you'll see the race. We have a special room up there. Race
trophies, and I want to see those.
Oh yeah, you're gonna.
And so we're going to show the audience around a little bit. Is that okay?
Oh, it's perfect. That's what I'm proud of.
Well, Glen Brandt was the Evelyn's partner all those years, and he hasn't lived as long as she did, but he lived a good long life. He had this office for a while, didn't he, while he was still alive?
He did. Yeah, we miss Glen greatly. He you know, there's good genetics in the family. He lived past 90, and you know, he was just as active as Evelyn is in the business, and showed up to work almost every day, just like her. And you know, they both kind of set the bar high. You know, kind of, you know, to lead by example, and you know, to be here and be present and stay active in the business, and that you know, kind of translate throughout the company.
Talk about respect. You all have kept his office here. Nobody works here, but all of his belongings, all his hobbies, and all his memorabilia is still here, just like he probably would like it, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's been a great way to remember Glen, and just the type of person he was. He was the ultimate entrepreneur, and he was into cattle and racehorses. He was into cars and airplanes. He had his pilot's license for several years as well before he had an accident with anhydrous and lost his vision partially. So
really,
yeah.
I didn't
So
know
he had to
that
give
about
up.
him.
Yeah, he had to give up his pilot's license at that time, and that's one of the side effects or risks of dealing with some of the fertilizers.
Oh, man.
Yep.
He was a car guy, and he collected these black cars through the years. Looks like 50s and 60s mostly.
Yep.
But there's an interesting story there too, because if you look at this picture here, this is like Glen with his cars back in the 70s maybe, it looks like, and then he sold the cars, right?
Right.
And then his son Rick was able to get them back, and he found them again, and they're down here in the same configuration.
Correct.
Isn't that nifty?
Yeah, and both photos are taken at the same location, which was at our old headquarters out in Pleasant Plains, Illinois. So, they're a very close family, and they work hard together and play hard together, and it's nice that they're able to recreate things like that. And
we talked about family too when we were talking to Evelyn, and here we got a granddaughter in one of his cars, right? So and she's a member of the company now.
She is. Yeah, she took some ownership stakes in the company recently, and she's becoming more and more involved in the company every day. She's currently getting her MBA down in Florida, so she's focused on being the third generation of family ownership.
That's terrific.
Yep.
We can see more, can't we? Because you've got
Absolutely.
the trophy room, and you've got the with the cars and everything.
Yep. We have
let's
plenty
go
of
that
exciting things to see.
We'll be back for more about Brandt Consolidated on Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Food.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Why work at Dot?
You could list out individual qualities forever.
There's a lot of opportunities. They take care of the employees, they take care of the community.
So our pay, our benefits, it's competitive. Time off, tons of flexibility.
They're willing to work with you to help you advance.
Well, Rod, we're in the trophy room now, and there's a lot to show here, isn't there? Starting with this racing car that Allgaier drives.
Yeah, so we've been teamed up with Justin Allgaier, from Central Illinois, right over there, east side of Springfield in Riverton, and we've been with Justin for 14 years now, and using motorsports as a marketing platform to, build relationships with our customers, and like other sports, NASCAR travels all over the United States, and so we get to attract customers from, wherever the race is in that market. We'll bring our customers in, we'll tell them the Brandt story, we'll tell them about our products, about our people.
Buy them some tickets, a few drinks, a lunch, and they're in, and you got their ear.
Absolutely, huh? And then when Justin wins the race and brings home a trophy, that's just icing on the cake.
It's happened a few times as you look around here. There's a lot of trophies, and there's a lot of memorabilia here from all your, of course, it's not just racing, but lots of good times.
Yeah, and it's always nice to we like to win. Like we like to say, we like to win in the field and we like to win on the racetrack. So having a driver like Justin of that caliber is it's been quite the combo.
Well, you've been good to each other.
Absolutely,
because he needed you too at one point. And right behind us on the other wall, you're also doing the same thing in Brazil. And you can see that there's a car that looks very similar to Justin's car here, and that works across. Internationally too, huh?
That's right. We've taken the model that we've used here in the U.S., the racing platform, and we've replicated it in Brazil for our business down there. And again, it's just a way to, it's agriculture in general is such a relationship business that, whatever we can do to strengthen those relationships with our customers is the key to to success.
So I'm assuming you've learned Portuguese too then, right?
Very little, very little.
You leave that to somebody else?
Yes, yeah. I've been fortunate enough to go down there a couple times, and it's such a challenging language to learn. So, but yes, it's. I would love to learn it, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You've also got a room in here, the boardroom, where it shows your facilities throughout the world.
Correct.
Let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
Okay, Rod, we're in the boardroom, and this is interesting about the Brandt company because the boardroom now is home to family members, right? There are no board of director members that are outside the family, or have I have that wrong?
There's still a formal board of directors, and it's made up of mostly people outside of the company. We do still have a few people, Brandt employees, that are on the board, but the company is 100% family owned, and that's Evelyn Brandt Thomas, Rick Brandt, his sister Terry Gustafson, and now Rick's daughter Sierra.
Okay, and that wasn't always that way. They bought it back from other share owners.
Correct. Back when the company was growing and developing, it gave other people within the company and community members an option to buy into the company or have some stakes in the company. And over the years, the Brandt family has purchased those back. And
we were talking about the global reach. You have a display on this wall now. If we look at the upper left, and you talked about Brazil. There's your plant in Brazil, and that's a production plant in Brazil, huh?
Correct. It's for the most part, Brazil is a lot of soybeans. There's a lot of soybeans grown in Brazil. So, being from here in Central Illinois, we have a lot of familiarity with growing soybeans. So, we've taken what we've learned here in the United States and taken that to Brazil to help help the farmers down in Brazil grow more.
Close to it, but here's one. This is in Carmona, Spain.
Carmona, Spain, yeah, and that's these Brazil and Spain have really came on board over the last 10 years, and it's to look at growth opportunities outside the U.S. And we try to enter markets where we know we have familiarity. We've been doing product development and making specialty products for crops all over the United States for probably almost 50 years now. So we can take what we've learned here in the United States and take it over to markets in Europe. A large market for us is in South Africa, down in Brazil and South America. So, the United States is really looked at as the leader in global agriculture. So, we can take all this information that we know and share it with our global partners because with the rate of population growth right now, we're going to need to produce a lot more food in the future. So we got to help these farmers increase their production.
Get the most they can.
That's right.
Florida, Utah, California. That's a big plant there. Boy, that's a big one.
It's a significant.
Pleasant Plains.
Absolutely.
And that's where the company was founded.
And that's
1953.
Home.
There's home. Yeah.
That's home.
Here's where we stand right here. The headquarters in Springfield, and Meredosia on the river. That's probably helpful having a
absolutely
place to offload on the river.
Yeah, and it all goes back to a lot of the logistical components that come with agriculture and the volumes of fertilizer that we have to work with now with our customers. It's necessary to have access points on the Illinois and Mississippi rivers, warehouses right off the rail system. When you're moving that large of quantities of fertilizer, it just makes more economical sense to use those modes of transportation. So it gives us a huge logistical advantage to help our customers and farmers right here in Central Illinois.
Brandt Consolidated continues to expand worldwide and across America. Its next production facility is slated for Aurora, Nebraska. With another Muddy River Gem from Springfield, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
This episode of Muddy River Gems was brought to you by Dot Foods.